always been told that I'm too small, I'm not big enough, I'm not fast enough. I don't have what it takes to be the best and stay there. Sweat is necessary. Walter and Jerry had their heels, never being comfortable with just good enough.
It's right now or never! It's right now or never!
I prepare so no one can take what is mine. No one can replace my mind, my heart. Lombardi inspired men. And now our biggest prize bears his name. I'm older. Of course I'm older. That's the beauty of it. 16 years plus. Different level of wisdom, different level of understanding, different level of punishment. I want to live long after my records have fallen, long after my rings have tarnished. And whatever you got to do to make sure you chase your legacy every second of your life. Will you be remembered? How would you be remembered? Why wouldn't you fight for the greatest achievement ever? Leave your mark.
Yo, what is happening? What's good? What's good in the hood, MNFL? We are back again, week 9, season 6, Madden 20. MNFL still going strong as ever. Hey man, we back with this rookie premiere. We doing it again for the culture, man. We doing it again for the culture. Take a time off once again, man. We still on the quarantine. We still living a new normal. Still being isolated. So I hope everybody's being safe. Hope everybody's taking care of themselves, their family, and doing the best they can with this situation that we're under. I'm sure that nobody, has felt anything that's hearing my voice right now that's been like this before. I mean, we've been through tragedies. We've been through things in the world that's, been less than ideal. But we gonna make it through it, man. I promise y'all, we gonna make it through it. We just gotta do our best to stay safe. We gotta do our best to use common sense. When a lot of people say that's not common anymore. But I think that if we do stay strong, man, through this, man, we'll get through it, man. We just gotta be smart about the things we do and the moves we make, and not be too quick to jump out there because you're getting impatient. And patience, man, will do you in far more than it will serve you. So please, be careful, be mindful of everybody, and take care of your loved ones, man. With that being said, man, we're going to get into this video. We're going to go over the top 32 first-round picks from the past draft. Going into season 6. Shouts out to everybody in the league, the front office. Congratulations to my front office members who recently had babies. Their legacy lives on. I believe they both had boys, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty much sure they had boys. So shout out D-Bev and Proto for their new addition to their family, man, and their legacy continue. All right, man, we got an interesting draft here, and I'm noticing a trend in this draft and the pattern that we're dealing with. There's a lot of defense in this first round. A lot of defense. You can see it on your screen. It should be zoomed in well enough we can read it. But it's a lot of defense in this first round. A lot of defense. So we're gonna go over the players, see if they're playing, what kind of development they have, if they made a leap in their development from when they were drafted, some notable stats, and get into a few sleepers too. We had a few people that were drafted outside of the first round that made some noise as far as being a high development trait. They were first round picks. So we're gonna get into it real quick, real heavy. Real quick, we wanna give a brief overview of where we're at through 9 weeks. Caveat to the stats as well. As you can see, you have a pitch count or a snap count on there as far as how close they are to their 500 snaps. On top of that, now keep in mind that these stats and those snap counts were captured at the beginning of week 9. So any games played during week 9, those new stats are unaffected. These guys are playing. We're going to get onto the standards real quick. Just give you a brief overview since we haven't been able to do a live stream lately. So I'm going to go over a few extra things today on top of our normal rookie review. All right, so starting off with the NFC, we have the Vikings who are 8-0. 256 points to the good and only giving up 113 points to their opponents. The Redskins are 8-0 as well. They've only given up 83 points to their opponents and 309 points for. The Panthers are 6-1. The Lions are 6-2. The Cowboys are 4-3. The Seahawks are 5-3. The 49ers are 4-3. And the Cardinals are holding on at 500 at 4-4. The Saints are 4-3. We got a couple of buys here. And the Falcons are 4-3. And I think that pretty much rounds out the people that are either 500 or above in the NFC. Moving over to the AFC real quick. Chiefs are 8-0. The Browns are 7-1. The Chargers are 6-1. The Bills are 6-2. The Titans are 6-3. The Patriots are 6-2. The Jaguars are 5-3. The Jets are 4-4. The Steelers are 4-4. Ravens are 3-6. So that rounds out everybody that is 500 or above. So that's where we're at as far as that is concerned. Week 9, the awards are starting to shape up, and give you a quick overview of who is making noise in his first 9 weeks of the season. Leading the MVP voting right now is Dalvin Cook, followed by D. Gross. Coach of the year right now is Randy Reed, the Chiefs coach, followed up by Big Joe Jackson, aka the Redskins coach. The AFC, D. Gross is leading Offensive Player of the Year right now, followed by Devontae Cochran. Defensive Player of the Year, to nobody's surprise, is Devin Bush yet again, followed by Leonard Williams. Offensive Rookie of the Year so far is Devontae Cochran, running back for the Ravens, followed up by Devontae Morey. Defensive Rookie of the Year right now is Kirkland McMillan, and some of these guys we're going to get into as they were first round picks, and we'll get into more of a deep dive of who these guys are. But right now, Kirkland McMillan is leading the Defensive Rookie of the Year standing, followed by Cassidy Richmond, who plays for the Dolphins. All right, best quarterback right now, I won't go over that. For some reason, EA doesn't filter that out properly until around week 12 or 13, so we'll skip that for now. Running back is D. Gross, followed by Devontae Cochran. Wide receiver is Marquise Hollywood Brown, followed by Devontae Parker. O-line is Tyron Smith, followed by Ronnie Stanley. D-line is Leonard Williams, followed by Myles Garrett. Linebacker is Devin Bush, followed by Travis Wright. Best DB right now is John Seymour and Freddie Williamson for the Raiders and the Broncos, respectively. Best kicker is Tanner Marshall, kicker for the Bills, followed by Austin Seawood, kicker for the Browns. Moving on to the NFC. Leading Offensive Player of the Year voting right now is Dalvin Cook, who's also leading the MVP voting, followed by Matt Breida. And Matt Finley as well, so 3 runners in Offensive Player of the Year, so no somebody surprised, I'm sure. All right, Defensive Player of the Year is Brian Burns, followed by Takaskri McKinley. We call him Tag McKinley. I can't pronounce his whole first name. Tag McKinley. All right, Offensive Rookie of the Year is Jonathan Burrow right now, and Frank Gregory followed by him in second place. Defensive Rookie of the Year is Johnny Darnell, and followed by Ashley Litton, both would happen to be playing for the 49ers, and we'll get into those names in a minute. Quarterback will Skip. Running backs Dalvin Cook, Breida, and Finley. Wide receivers Galladay, Beckham, and McLaurin. O-line is Malik Sherman and Eric McCoy. Best D lineman, Aaron Donald. I'm sure that's a broken record by now. Followed by Fletcher Cox. Best linebacker right now is Brian Burns and Taggy Kinley. And DB is Troy Apke and Holton Hill. All right, and the best kicker right now is Aldrich Rosas for the Giants, followed by Joey Sly. All right, so that's your preliminary awards for Week 9, where they stand for the first week of the, I guess you could say, reveal. And of course, they'll shake up and churn, for the next 8 or 9 games that we're going to play around the season. But early on, that's who was in the running at the top for those particular awards. So now let's get into the rookie review. Now, I will start off by saying this. It was a very interesting draft, and things never really ever go as expected. It's almost like the real NFL, where people end up picking differently than they may have wanted to because of what people picked ahead of them. They might have their eyes on one particular guy, no guy get picked for them, and they start scrambling and reach for other things, and they may miss. Who knows? All right, now this is quite interesting because the 49ers have I guess you can say a knack for drafting in the first round and drafting high. But ironically, they always finish in with a top, with a lower 20th pick, because they're a perennial play ball team. So they typically finish low in the draft, but somehow they finagle their way up to the top of the draft. So I'm still wondering how he pulls this off, but the mastermind is the mastermind, so I'll let him live. But they had the top 2 picks out of 3 in the first round. They had the first pick and the third pick. Only person that was in between them was the Giants. And he didn't miss. I tell you that much. He definitely scored with these 2 picks, and there's probably a lot of pressure on somebody that picking that high because you don't want to pick a dud. You never really know because the draft system is so weird. Things don't always play to the numbers. Let's just say that. So when you have these picks high, do you play it safe? Do you reach? Do you pick, player of need, or you just go for the thing that looks the best? I mean, even if you don't need that position, who knows? But they went defense on their first 2 picks, and actually the first, we don't get an offensive player to the 10th pick. So the first 9 picks are going to be defensive players. Let's just start there. All right, the first pick was Johnny Donnell. Middle linebacker. He is star development. He plays a lot. He's had 479 snaps up to this point. And he has recorded 17 tackles, 8 sacks, and 2 picks. So, if I had to be a betting man, I would say that he is definitely trying to score a Defensive Rookie of the Year honor in the Pro Bowl. But we'll see what happens. Now, also as a caveat to this, these tackle listings are solo tackles. They're not combined. As you know, that solo and assisted tackles combined for a total overall tackle count in the stat sheet. But these are solo tackles. So, 17 solo tackles on top of 8 sacks and 2 picks. Alrighty. The Giants pick, they went free safety. Also, piggyback on the fact that Donnell is star development. He had no notable upgrades up to this point, so he hadn't gotten a development game yet. But his stats look very good. So, if he does get that award, he'll likely move up to superstar if he stays healthy enough to be on the field for the next 8 games. So, moving on to the Giants pick. The Giants picked Akeem Harvey. Akeem Harvey was an out-of-this-world, super fast safety picked by the Giants. He's star development. He has 430 snaps as well. He definitely plays a lot. Only recorded 7 tackles up to this point. So I'm kind of curious, is that front 7 is just handling business in New York, and he's not getting a lot of tackles or a lot of picks for that matter, but he's definitely playing a lot. So it would be interesting to see exactly what's going on in New York. I know they're having a bit of a struggle as far as winnings are concerned, but they definitely picked up a guy that's definitely could probably, if you were in need of a corner, you could probably move him to corner. He'd be just fine because he has that kind of speed. I want to say he's in the realm of 93 speed out, and that was from him being drafted. That wasn't even from a speed boost or anything like that he got from development. Actually, I'll verify that real quick just to get an understanding of how good athletically this guy is. Hakeem is 94 speed. Excuse me, 94 speed is a safety. That's crazy. And 96 is tell. So I mean, what can you say? Aggressive, play ball tendency, predictable player, high motor, balance, tendency for penalty, leader as a personality. Like he's all world. I mean, like I said, you could probably stick him down and cover a wide receiver, and he'd be just fine. He won't get beat over the top. So that was a great pick by them. He's also started them, like I said, and he's definitely a beast. Next up is the 49ers again. They went a cornerback this time. They went Ashley Hinton, was I guess regarded as the top corner in the draft. He came out as superstar development right out the gate. He has 487 snaps, so he played a little more snaps than Donnell did. Naturally a DB stays on the field all the time as opposed to linebackers coming in and out the field depending on what type of package you run. So that makes sense. But to this point right now, he has 8 tackles, solo tackles. He has 1 forced fumble, which is interesting from a corner, and he has 4 picks. So he's definitely playing a lot, and he's definitely doing some work out there, playing the DB position. So he's one of the fastest guy. I want to say he was like early 90s speed, but I could be wrong. But he wasn't fast as Hakeem, obviously, but. I'm sorry. He has 94 speed. He has 90 excel, 93 agility. So yeah, he's pretty tough. 5'10", 188 pounds. So he's pretty good. That could go up slightly. I mean, he's only a rookie, 21 years old. So he definitely got some great potential there. And if he shines the way he's been shining right now, he could be X Factor by the time the season is. So we'll see. Keep an eye on that guy. Moving on to the Broncos pick. Broncos with D-line this time. They tend to do in the draft. They tend to trend towards defense. Built a pretty good defense, even though Von Miller retired. He definitely want to say that he got a solid core on defense that only getting better. I mean, the secondary is excellent. The front seven, even when with Bradley Chubb being the only quote unquote pass rusher left after Von Miller was gone, they definitely doing well over there. So I guess he decided to get Von Miller's heir apparent replacement in Jameson Brothers. Jameson Brothers is a right end. He has 9 tackles, star development, 9 tackles so far, 2 sacks. Pitch count is at 392, so he has about 108 snaps before he gets his development revealed for sure. But he's definitely playing ball out there, so he has some big shoes to fill. I mean, Von Miller is a life in a time or generational player, so he's definitely gonna have to step up if he wants to fill those shoes. But where Chubb probably drawing a lot of double teams, he should get free the better he gets. So we'll see how he shakes out. Next up is the Cowboys pick. The Cowboys went secondary in their draft, and with the 5th pick overall, they went a quarterback by the guy by the name of Dwight Roach. Dwight Roach has 404 snaps at this point, so he definitely plays. He is a fast corner. I want to say he might have been the fastest corner in the draft, if I'm not mistaken. We'll look up his stats real quick. Dwight Roach is 93 speed. So actually he's 1 speed slower than Ashley was, but he does have 97 excel. So that's definitely good for him to get to his top end speed fast. But only has 85 agility, so he's more of an outside corner rather than a slot. But he's definitely talented from a speed perspective. So he definitely can run. And he's 5'11", 213 pounds, so he's not a lighter corner. So that's pretty good. So I would say he's probably more of an outside. Maybe he's the outside guy going along with Byron Jones. All right, so moving on to the next pick. The Vikings had the 6th pick, and they went D-line. They went with a guy by the name of Damian Wilburn. Damian Wilburn is a defensive tackle, star development. He plays a lot. He actually has 497 snaps, so I'm sure he'll get his revealed by this next game he plays. So so he has 12 tackles, 5 sacks, and 1 forced fumble. So he's definitely wreaking havoc in that middle. And as I stated earlier, the Vikings are undefeated. So they're doing something different in Minnesota, man. I mean, what can you say? It went from picking in early in the draft at the 6th pick to undefeated at this point. So they're doing something. I mean, everybody knows at this point, there's a little chat in the chat that he's running the ball heavy with Dalvin Cook. So I guess he used to be a passer, for the most part. I mean, he had He does have Mahomes now. Yeah, he has Mahomes. So he traded for Mahomes out of Mahomes left the Chiefs, went to the Bengals for a while, then he's now in Minnesota. So yeah, even though he has Mahomes, he's running the ball profusely. So so Damian's definitely getting a lot of work from a defense perspective and star development. So he's going to be a goon going forward. All right, so next pick was the Jets. To no surprise, it's almost like a broken record at this point. The Jets went D-line. I think they traded away one guy that was on the D-line. I know at this point Quentin and Leonard Williams are both gone, I believe. So he drafted Xavier Deese in the previous, a couple of drafts ago, I want to say, and he's now X Factor. How about that? So he wanted somebody on the other side of him, so he picked Dave Ashmore. Dave Ashmore is a right end. Now, the interesting part about this is, he's a right end. He's playing the opposite of Deese. He only has one tackle, star development, and he only has 281 snaps, so he's not playing as much on defense as the other guys had up to this point. But he definitely is playing, so he'll get his development revealed here probably in the next few games. But he is star development, and he has no notable upgrades at this point. He didn't get a breakout game yet. Which is interesting. I mean, because nobody has gotten a breakout game up to the point we're at pick 7, and there's some nice stats to be had here. So I'm just curious of what that system is all about. But I guess if we all knew it, we all would be doing it. So I guess it's better left a secret. But whatever. All right, so we're gonna move on. The Rams pick came up next. They picked a guy by the name of James Floyd. He is the first normal development person. Now, I want to say. I'm not 100% sure, but the trend is being that way, that the Rams don't make drafts. So I don't know if the computer picked this for him or he did, but I want to say the computer picked it, which is weird because the computer typically doesn't miss when it comes to this came off his draft board. This could came off his draft board, hypothetically, so it could have been that, but yeah, just weird that they drafted him normal development guy when it was a star development guy drafted right behind him in the Dolphins pick. But hey, it is what it is. So yeah, James Floyd is a normal development corner. He has 2 tackles up to this point, so he does play a little. I'm not sure he plays a lot, but he definitely plays a little. So we'll see how he shakes out going forward. Let's see if he has any notable stats as far as speed is concerned. James Floyd is 21 years old. He has 95 speed, but he only has 86 excel and 87 agility. So, yeah. He get to that top end speed, but it takes him a little while. So, yeah, that's interesting. I mean, I would definitely, not too sure about that one, but that's a good one. Which is weird the computer picked that, but I mean, unless he just picked it based on his 40 time, and that was it. But, hey, we'll see how it shakes out, though. All right, the Dolphins pick next. They picked D lineman by the name of Billy James. He left in. He's star development. Now, he doesn't have any stats, and I double-checked this in the league and on Daddy League. And he doesn't have any notable stats, but he does have 96 snaps, so he does play a little. He just haven't recorded any stats yet. But, hey, I guess he'll break out at some point. He might just need some time to develop. All right, so the Cardinals picked next at number 10. They picked a halfback, which is a trend different, a trade different than what they normally like to do because they picked quarterbacks and receivers, that John corners in the past. I guess the whole air raid and speed thing. But they went running back, and this guy was probably widely regarded as the best halfback in the league, although he was more of a speed back as opposed to a power or elusive back. But a guy by the name of Jonathan Burrows, superstar development off the box. To this point, and through 8 games, he has 693 yards and 6 TDs. Now, quick note about this. I'm going to verify this right now, but I have a sneaky feeling that the Cardinals streamed that game, this week's game, and I have a eerie feeling that something happened to him in this game, and yes, it did. He dislocated his hip in that game, and he's out for 8 weeks, so that's essentially the season for him. So yeah, he's done for the season most likely. That's a tough break, man. He's definitely a good back, elusive archetype. 23 years old, so he's his rookie season only was half a season, but I hope he'll come back and next season and put some work in. But that's rough, man. Just lose your guy, right out the gate like that, and that's tough. Hope Mac has a backup plan for him as far as running the ball, but it's tough, man. Wish that guy well, but sometimes those are the breaks. All right, moving on to the next pick. We got two back-to-back superstar picks right off the cuff on 10 and 11. Guy by the name of Tobias Dorsett. Tobias Dorsett is a left hand, superstar development. He does play a lot. He has 472 snaps at this point. He has 5 tackles and 2 sacks. So he's definitely putting in work out there. We'll see how that shakes out for the Buccaneers going down the road. So moving on to the Falcons. The Falcons have been jostling, to say the least. They've been jostling with their quarterback situation. Ever since they let Matt Ryan go. So they've been trying to figure out who that guy is. They've had Easton Stick for a while. But it didn't feel like Easton was the guy for them. I guess he just didn't develop like they wanted him to, although he was, a faster quarterback. But they went out and got themselves a good one here. A guy by the name of Marty Steen. Marty Steen was probably regarded as the top guy, quarterback-wise, stat-wise, coming out the draft. Star development. He does play a lot. He has 392 snaps at this point. He's amassed 1,395 yards and 8 touchdowns. 18 picks though, so he's definitely growing. For lack of a better term, he's definitely growing. So he's trying to, get a good feel of the offense and how things work in the NFL versus college. But he definitely plays. He definitely will. It's always what and if anybody listens to these podcasts, up to this point, I always say that quarterbacks always have the edge. If there's a rookie quarterback that plays, that starts the entire season, he's likely going to be the offensive rookie of the year. He has his hands on the ball the whole game. So it's very hard for a wide receiver or tight end or running back. As a running back has an awesome year, he would have to have more rushing yards than the quarterback has passing yards, which is not likely. This is a running Madden. Everybody knows this. But I've never seen a quarterback not win if there were a rookie quarterback that started all 16 games. So good luck to everybody that's an offensive player that's in the NFC when it comes to the rookie of the year. But, I wouldn't bank on it. That's just my personal opinion. But Marty looks good. He's definitely, they definitely look like they finally found their guy. I know we're getting later in the season, but for the next few seasons that we have in this particular Madden, he definitely will be the mainstay for Atlanta. And they're doing pretty well in the standings. So I think that was maybe the only Achilles heel they had problems with, a good quarterback. So we'll see how they shake out down the road and will they make the playoffs or not. But for right now, they got their guy. All right, the Bears picked at 13. The Bears were looking to the future because it was unbeknownst to us at the time. But of course, the GM of the Chicago Bears was thinking ahead, and he decided to get the heir apparent to Roquan Smith. Because Roquan and the Bears organization were having contract disputes for the last 2 seasons. He was franchise tagged both seasons, and they just couldn't come to a financial agreement that would leave him in Chicago for the rest of his career. So he ended up getting traded to the Cardinals. So he's now a Cardinal for, I think, a draft pick and a player, old lineman, I want to say, Darrell Williams, I think. So Roquan is out, and Marquell Lynch is in. Star development, middle linebacker, and he has 19 solo tackles up to this point with 1 forced fumble. No notable upgrades from his development from stars to anything, so that's he's still a star. And he has 314 snaps up to this point. So, yeah. So I want to say that he's definitely doing work out there. Again, big shoes to fill because, I guess you say Roquan was a sideline middle linebacker. But he's definitely doing the job for, with, his X Factor D lineman and Khalil out there on the edges. So he's definitely roaming the middle big time. All right, moving on to the Raiders pick. The Raiders picked at 14. They picked the O-lineman by the name of Clayton Warner. He's star development. 144 snaps at this point, so he definitely plays. But it's going to take a little while for him to develop that development trait if he doesn't make it, it's a little low of a number, I want to say, because if he's halfway through the season at this point, you double that number, it's still not going to be 500. But we'll see. But he's already started development. And he, like I said, we know that how development traits run when it comes to O-lineman. It doesn't change. So he will be star. So, but that's good. I mean, it's way better than normal, obviously. So he definitely will develop into a decent O-lineman in the next season or so. All right. So we are now at pick 15. The Colts pick. Break here. Music here. All right, so back to it. So the Colts pick. Colts pick's always interesting. And if you notice by the listing here, it's going to be a rash of normal players drafted here. But the Colts picked outside linebacker. I think they traded Ben Bangura, I want to say his name is, a couple of seasons ago. So I guess they were looking to replace him. Left outside linebacker. He has 9 tackles and 2 sacks up to this point. Normal development and no notable upgrades to this point. So I mean, he's definitely man in the middle of the field with Darius Leonard. So we'll see how Clifton Dennis shakes out here in the next few weeks. But he definitely looks solid. I mean, he definitely putting stats up, so he definitely plays a good amount. All right, next pick was the Cowboys pick again. The second pick they had in the first round, and they went O-line. I guess they were looking for somebody to replace the Tyron Smith since they let him go, traded him to the Chiefs. So they got a guy by the name of Paul Castile, left tackle. All right, so nothing sexy to say about a lineman. So I mean, and he's normal development, so not really much to say about him. So we'll move on. All right, the Falcons picked again. They went defense this time. By a guy by the name of Khalil Hicks. Now, Khalil Hicks doesn't play right now. Obviously, you can see by the stats. He doesn't have any notable stats, no notable development changes. So he hadn't hit the field yet. So I guess we're going to develop him. Might be a little bit of a project for him right now. So we'll see if and when he hits the field. All right, moving on to the Browns pick. The Browns had back-to-back picks here. They drafted 2 defensive players, and like I said, normal trend here. I mean, you can probably, I want to say 85% of this draft was defense, if not more. I mean, I didn't do the numbers, but it's definitely a lot of defense in this draft that was drafted in the first round. And they drafted, like I said, they had back-to-back picks. They went right in first by a guy by the name of Johnny Jackson. I guess he needed somebody that was going to be opposite of Myles Garrett. For the future, but Johnny doesn't play yet. I'm not sure who this guy is, whose heir apparent is at right end. I feel like Myles Garrett is a right end, but I could be wrong. But yeah. So he has a guy that he drafted that you want to invest his time in. I guess you can say he can develop him to be the other edge threat for Myles Garrett to take some pressure off him. Because everybody knows when you have one edge, we'll just double team that one edge and, we'll work on the rest. Yeah, Myles Garrett is right in. So we'll see how much time Johnny Jackson actually gets. But yeah, I mean, you could be playing him out of position. He's not a development person, so you could be playing him out of position. But Trey Price is the other guy. So yeah, he's just a project. I guess you can say some depth there. I mean, he's 72 overall out the box. So yeah, we'll see how it works. His next pick was a strong safety, a guy by the name of Raymond McIntosh. Raymond McIntosh has 1 tackle to this point in normal development, and he's playing behind some guys that are high up in overall. So I guess Raymond is getting most of his play on special teams. Up to this point, like I said, no development, no notable development upgrades for him just yet. And with 1 tackle, how could you? So we'll see if Raymond ever hits the field. But he's tall. I mean, he's 6'3", strong safety, 85 speed, 93 agility. So yeah. All right. So moving on to the Steelers, more AFC North heat. I tell you, I've always said it, and it continues to be a trend that Burf always develops his front seven with the O-line, D-line, linebacker. It just doesn't matter. I mean, he doesn't pick anything sexy from a wide receiver, running back perspective, or line corner safety. He doesn't do it. He always about his front seven, and that's been the mantra of the real Steelers. So it's like he almost adapting the same principle. But he's a Cowboy fan, so which is weird. But But yeah, he went D tackle. Guy by the name of Lorenzo Grant. 2 tackles to this point, so he does play a little. D tackle, normal development, nothing notable about his upgrades at this point. And yeah, but he does see the field a little. So I mean, he definitely. I mean, like I said, the interior linemen are very, like O linemen. They're very grunt work type of guys. They do a lot of the heavy lifting, and nobody gives them anything, credit for it. They don't get a whole lot of sacks. The edge guys and linebackers get all the glory, all the stats, but they hold up, the interior line so people don't run on you all day. So it is what it is. Jaguars picked at 22. They were O linemen. The guy by the name of Juwan Godfrey, left guard. Normal development. Nothing too sexy about that either. All right, the Buccaneers had picked at 23 again, their second overall pick in the first round, I believe. Yep, their second pick. And they picked a guy by the name of Forrest Arrington, who's a defensive tackle. Doesn't play yet. No development. I mean, and I'll say this: either he doesn't play. When I say he doesn't play, either he doesn't play or he just hadn't recorded any stats. I mean, they don't give you downs played unless you're a development guy. So they don't give you a snap count unless you're a development guy. So you can't really tell whether or not they play. Only people that know that is the coach. So he just hadn't made a splash. Let's just say it that way if he does play. All right. So moving on to the Texans. Now, we're back in business when it comes to development here. The Texans picked at 24. They picked a guy by the name of Kirkland McMillan. Kirkland McMillan's a free safety. He started out as star development. All right. He has 16 solo tackles and 3 picks. He's also had a breakout game up to this point. And he's now superstar development. That's the first and only one we had in the first round that has actually gotten a development game and has done his he had completed it. And he has completed all his snaps. So he's played 500 snaps, and he has a development upgrade. So he has free safety that I think along with – does he still have Justin Reed? Let's verify that real quick. If he still has Justin Reed, then he definitely has a hell of a secondary back there. He does. Justin Reed's a 99 overall. So he has A.J. Moore, as strong safety right now, is 81, and Kirkland McMillan, who is a 79 superstar. So his secondary, from a safety perspective, is left and glocked. Definitely doing well for himself in Houston as far as defense is concerned. Even after trading away Will Fuller and Hopkins left in free agency, but he definitely, from on the defensive side of the ball, definitely handling business. So, look out for Kirkland McMillan. I would say that I got my eyes on him for defensive rookie of the year. So, keep your eyes on that. All right, so moving on to the Ravens. The Ravens picked a DT by the name of Garrison Witherspoon with the 25th pick. DT, he has 3 tackles, so he does play some. And it's like he could play a lot. I mean, like I said, we just don't know as far as his snap count is concerned when they're not anything above normal development. But Garrison definitely plays some. DT, so he's an interior lineman. He has 3 tackles. All right, so moving on to the Bengals pick. The Bengals picked a middle linebacker with the 26th pick by the name of Josh Gross. Josh is normal development. He does play. He definitely got 9 solo tackles in the sack. So I would like to say he plays a lot. Like he man in the middle in Cincinnati, and you need that help with that run game heavy in AFC North. You got Lamar, you got Chubb, you got Connor, so you definitely need somebody who's going to man that middle, man in right. So yeah, so Josh is going to get a lot of playing time. So hopefully he can hold up against that heavy run game in the North. All right, now this pick, especially with the fact that they had 2 first round picks in this draft. This pick baffled me. Like, I mean, it was beyond belief. And when I saw it happen in the draft, I had to double take. But the Jaguars at the 27th pick overall pick Ethan Hutchins, a fullback. There wasn't a typo. That's really his position. He's a fullback. Not a superstar, not an X factor, not a star development fullback, but just a fullback. I don't know. I mean, unless you had a need roster requirement wise, you didn't have any money, and you didn't have any other picks besides your first round picks, I don't see the reasoning here for that. And it was way more, I guess you can say, talented people to pick outside of a fullback when you could have got him later on in the draft. It's almost like kickers. But I'm the GM of the Chargers. I'm not the GM of the Jaguars. He saw something that I didn't. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe I'm tripping. But that's what he did. Drafted a fullback. That's not a typo. So, moving on. All right, so the Panthers had the 28th pick. The Panthers drafted right in by the name of DeMarcus Good. DeMarcus is a normal development guy. Either he does not play or he does not have any stats at this point. But DeMarcus is a right in. He's definitely a project for the Panthers. They shuffle around. I mean, outside of their edge guys, they shuffle around their D-line a lot. I don't know if they've ever really found their guy, since they've moved on from, your Starlet Tulales, your K1 Shorts, and your Gerald McCoys. But DeMarcus is, he's a right end. It's prototypical right end. Could be 3.4.43. I mean, he's 72 speed, 77 excel. He has 88 strength. So he has 79 block shedding at this point. 75 power move, 78 PRC. So he's pretty decent. And like I said, he just have to make some plays. To get noticed. On the stat sheet. But he's definitely going to be a mainstay. I mean, he's 21 years old, so he definitely will be there for the duration. All right, so moving on to the Redskins. The Redskins picked a middle linebacker at the 29th pick. A guy by the name of Donovan Charleston. Donovan Charleston plays. He's also star development. But he doesn't play a lot. He has 82 snaps up to this point. Now, it's kind of crowded, in the linebacker room, to say the least. Because he has Cole Holcomb and Gary Johnson ahead of him. But yeah, I mean, he's 80 speed, 90 excel, so I mean, he's definitely a prototypical speed middle linebacker with 85 agility. So he plays some, but not a lot. 6'3", 233 pounds. So yeah, he's definitely working on him. So I guess you could say between now and next season, we'll see how he looks from a development perspective. But but that's a solid pick. Definitely a solid pick. After that rash of normals, I mean, he definitely scored with a star development guy. All right, so we'll scroll down here a little bit so everybody can see this. All right, so we're now at the 30th pick. The Chiefs had the 30th pick. They picked a guy by the name of Carl Lawson, right in. He's normal development. Doesn't seem to play a lot or at all right now. But I think I'm going to say something interesting about Lawson, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Even though he's a right end, he's a speed rusher. Yeah, that's what was interesting about him. He's 6'3", 246 pounds. He's 80 speed, 84 acceleration, 85 finesse moves. So he's definitely an edge guy. I mean, you can stand him up in the 3-4 or put him down in the 4-3 as an edge guy and rushing the passer. But yeah, he's 22 years old, 6'3", like I said, and he's definitely somebody you can develop. You just take a little time. But so that's what the Chiefs did at the 30th pick. 31st pick was done by the Chargers. It was Edward Vaughn, defensive tackle. Chargers had to move on from their DT, Damon Locke, their X-Factor DT, send him to the Saints. So they had to draft a replacement, obviously. Quincy Little was the first guy drafted last year, and Edward Irvin was drafted in Locke's place. So he plays normal development. He has 2 tackles, 2 sacks at this point. Again, like I said, he's a grunt work guy. So yeah, he definitely mans the middle, but he hasn't got any whole lot of. I mean, 2 sacks is actually nothing to sneeze at when it comes from a D tackle's perspective. But yeah, he doesn't, like I said, he doesn't get a lot of glory when it comes to his stat work. But he's definitely somebody's going to man the middle for the Chargers for the foreseeable future. Between him and Quincy Little, they're both 22 and 24 years old, respectively. Ed is 22 and Quincy is 24. So young in the middle. So takes time to develop, but they're gonna get some work in the interior line for the Chargers. All right, so rounding out the first round, the Lions pick. They picked a D tackle as well. A guy by the name of Irvin Sapp. Irvin Sapp is also normal development. No notable stats at this point. Yeah, man, it's quite crowded in the defensive line room for the Detroit Lions. Honestly, I mean. He still has Ashawn Robinson, who's 29. He has Ezekiel Kendrick, who's 24. He has Snacks Harrison, who's superstar development still at 35. And then you have Irvin Sapp. So Irvin Sapp is going to have to wait his time, for lack of a better term. He's definitely going to wait his time out. I mean, I guess it's Harrison and Robinson will move on at some point in their future, but because of their age. But yeah, so Irvin going to have to wait his time. So, Yeah, he's definitely a project. We got decent stats though. I mean, 6'5", 295 pounds. He's 75 speed, 76 agility, and 82 acceleration. 82 finesse moves. So I mean, that's good. I mean, I think that's what he was going for. He saw the finesse moves was high from a ratings perspective, so he went with him to pick him up for the 32nd pick in the first round. So we'll see. I don't think he'll play a lot this year, to be honest with you, with the D-line he has in front of him. But look for him to hit the field next year. All right, so that rounds out the first round. And I did do some peeking, and I did ask for some assistance from the chat for the guys that may have scored some gems in the later rounds. And I did get two names. In the third round, it seemed like the third round was a bit of a gold mine that nobody actually paid attention to. But there was two superstar development guys drafted in the third round. The Chargers drafted a quarterback by the name of Bradley Cobb. Now, we were just out there looking for a backup to Cam because he has, he's getting close to the end of his deal. And we're just looking for, or if he ever got hurt for some reason. So we're just looking for, a decent backup because we had to let our backup go in free agency. So we were just out there looking for, a healthy replacement and ended up with a superstar development guy. He's been playing. He has 428 snaps at this point. He has 279 yards, 9 touchdowns, and 9 interceptions. So, yeah, he's definitely getting the work out there. Learning from Cam Newton. So, we'll see how it goes as far as the development is concerned. But third-round gem. Definitely a third-round gem. The Texans also scored as well. They scored a cornerback by the name of Arthur Garrett. Superstar development as well. He has 5 tackles up to this point in 1 pick. And he has completed all his snaps, so his superstar development tag is already revealed. So let's take a quick look since his is actually revealed. Bradley's is not revealed yet, but we'll take a look and see if he has any notable abilities, just for the simple fact that he has his development revealed already. And he's a 74 overall. His abilities are here. He has Acrobat revealed so far because he's only a 74 overall. So I guess the higher up he gets, he has another ability slot that's going to unlock at 80. So yeah, he has Acrobat right now, and then one other ability when he gets to 80. But superstar gem drafted in the third round. So hey man, there is superstars in those later rounds if you're paying attention. Like I said, the way the numbers work out, and I think they did it on purpose so people couldn't understand or guess or figure exactly what's the exact science to drafting. Because some people will sit around all day and they sim 30 drafts and they figure out who the best guys are and do all this type of stuff, and they figure out what's the formula, and you can almost never miss a draft pick. Previous years. So I guess they just wanted this to be completely random, and you never know exactly what you're going to get until you draft a guy. For the most part, if you go back through the spreadsheet and see that probably the first 10 picks are probably, they're definitely hits. But after that, you could have irrational normal guys that don't play, the guys that are projects who'll take a while to develop. Or you could be like the Ravens. They could have drafted a guy that was normal development and he thought it was a total, farce as far as a draft pick is concerned, and end up being a superstar development guy by the end of the season. So who knows? So I guess it isn't always a bad thing to draft a guy that's just okay, because if he does play, he could, be good. So we'll see. But that rounds out the rookie review. So we'll see who does what when it comes down to the actual awards are concerned. Like I said, we still got 7-8 games to play. Going forward, so we definitely want to look towards the end of the season, who wins what, and because I think that if you don't win the Rookie of the Year award, I think you're pretty much guaranteed to upgrade from your development. And the upgrade doesn't happen until the end of the season, but you're at least guaranteed it going to the next season. I did notice that a lot of upgrades did happen. Going back over the spreadsheet from the X Factor and Superstar X Factor spreadsheet, there's a lot of changes. A lot of guys went from Superstar to X Factor and went from Star to Superstar and stuff like that. So yeah, definitely some upgrades, and I think they only happen because of Pro Bowl votes or awards and stuff like that. So be mindful that even if you may not get a breakout game or you miss it, you could still win an award and still get it. So definitely some something to look forward to say the least. All right, man, we're going to get into a few housekeeping notes real quick before we wrap this up. We're about at 50 minutes right now. There's a few things out there in the league right now, man, that I want to address. Like I said, that we didn't have time for a live stream. I mean, everything going on. I mean, a lot of my admins, 'cause two of them got newborn baby, so it's kind of tough to do a live stream, and. So I definitely wanted to cover a few other things on top of that we normally cover in the stream that I'm going to cover here. I guess the first thing I want to go over is play calling and clock management. Play calling, I struggle with it, and I've always had. I mean, I've been a commissioner of this league since Madden 12, right? So I struggle with the idea of play calling, right? And people talk to me all the time about how they feel about it and how they think it should go. And we always may have a similar opinion, we may not. I'm always on the train, bandwagon of, NFL style sim play, right? Now, Madden doesn't always play to those numbers or play to be indicative of that genre because it is a video game in certain regards. It's almost like it's some part video game, some part realistic sim football concepts. So it's very weird when it comes down to how you treat playing a franchise mode, And we have the different modes, and I think everybody knows at this point that the MUT mode, competitive mode, or whatever that is on that other side of the fence, right? That gets all the attention, plays one way, right? Simulation plays something totally different, right? Everybody should know that by now, right? Either by hearsay or by experience, right? So with that being said, man, I just implore people, and they're quite. I mean, this league is very successful, is very popular, and there's other leagues out there that are even more popular that EA watches, like NBL and other leagues that are been around and get a lot of publicity. And, they have stricter rules, to be quite honest with you, when it comes down to, play calling and what you can and can't do. Now, I think everybody appreciates this league for the amount of freedom you have with your team management and your rosters and your trading and things you can do. They have a lot of freedom to do what you want, and I think that makes it fun for everybody. But, and that goes back to the whole principle of everybody having other stricter rules. I don't necessarily want to do that. I don't want to take the fun out of the game, but I also don't want the game or the league to trend in a direction where people are only doing one thing all game because it works. I'll just be honest, running the ball 40 times a game with the same exact play every down because it works regardless is not real football, man. Throwing just like in previous Maddens, throwing, 9 routes or streaks every play because you got a fast receiver and nobody can keep up with them. Just because it works, it doesn't require skill. I think everybody in this league is very skilled and talented when it comes to playing this game and being a knowledgeable person in football. So I think, I would implore people to use their brains more. You have 500 plays at your disposal if you have a custom book, right? 300 or so plays if you use a standard book. There are things in there if you take time out that you can make work for yourself that isn't the same flavor of thing every rep. For me, it's boring to do that. It is, honestly. It's boring to call the same exact play just because it works every single play. That's just not. I wouldn't want to do that and just do that profusely for the entire length of a game. It's just not where I'm at. Even if I made mistakes. If I had to call a passing play and I throw an interception, then I'd rather do that than run the same running play every time. So, it's just a note. I'm not forcing your hand here. I'm trying to be reasonable. Because, like I said, some people just don't respond well to people telling them what to do. To be honest. So, I would implore you as a commissioner to, be more diverse in your play calling. It's better for the league. Trust me. I'm always thinking about the holistic view of the league. I'm not thinking about anything that's just going to benefit me or just any subset of people. I'm thinking about the whole entire league. And the league thrives and the league is better when you have a diverse group of play calling people, diverse group of people that run different types of schemes, different types of offenses, different types of receivers, running backs, quarterbacks, you name it. When you have a variety, then that's fine. If everybody's doing one thing, it's boring. To be honest. I've had people come to me honestly and tell me that they really don't want to play like for real more and more because everybody's doing the same thing. So to get ahead of that and to have that, put to bed, let's try to do a better job of play calling and clock management. By now you should know what plays you have in your playbook, and it shouldn't take you 30 seconds at a rip to call a play. It just should. So let's be mindful of that, and let's just do a better job overall. From 1 to 32 in this league, point blank period. All right. So also, I guess the last thing I want to address, to be honest with you, I think that now I will be honest and say that I knew about the X Factor change of position thing. A guy from another league, commissioner from another league, told me about it early on, and I didn't mention it, thinking to myself that people, if I bring it to their attention, it make them more inept to do it. But I was wrong because it was discovered and people did it. And I should have just brought it to the forefront and banned it originally when I didn't. I mean, that's on me. I'll take the blame for that. Which made it more restrictive, and people didn't. People got an unfair advantage and were allowed to keep their players. I know people have issues with that too, but it wasn't a rule. So I mean, people got away with what they got away with. It's almost like one of those things where before you commit a crime, before they make it a crime, you did it, and they can't really punish you for it because it wasn't a law. So it is what it is. With that being said, I did figure out something that is a glitch in Madden that I want to get ahead of, and I want to make sure it's banned before it becomes an issue or becomes a thing in here. And I'm going to show you a video on it. This video was given to me by a person in the league, and I want you to see it before I explain what the issue is. Well, honestly and truly, because this guy's name is T. Davis. He's a MUT player. He did a video on it, and he'll tell you exactly how it works and what the issue is. And I'm going to tell you right off that this is not something we want in this league, and it's already banned before we even get going. It's not something I want to see in this league. And if you do it and it gets recorded and you get proven that you did it, you're going to get suspended. I'm just putting it out there right now, straight up, 100% to you that it's not something we want to see in this league, because it is yet again another oversight by EA and something that you can do with your running back, wide receiver that will give you yet another unfair advantage when pursuit angles and tackling and all that type of stuff is already bad in this game. So just to compound it, you have this. So we want to make sure that we don't have this problem in the league before we get started. So I'm going to play the video for you.
YouTube, what's going on? I'm back with another tip today, and we're going to break down how to get the speed burst that you want. We're going to show you how to get a speed burst when you have a one-on-one situation or when you're in the open field and you need to get to the end zone. This is a little glitch that will give your guys a little acceleration boost that I'm not sure a lot of people know about in the community. Make sure you guys follow me on Twitter, on Instagram, Twitch, YouTube, keeping up to date with all my content, all my tips coming out. Going to be posting a lot coming up in these next few months. So let's get into it. We're just going to run a little stretch here with Tariq Cohen, and we'll just have the defense in a goal line. The point of that is I just want to try to get to the outside and get a one-on-one situation, or a guy, chasing me down, so I can show you how to get this acceleration boost. What you're going to want to do now is you're going to repeatedly spam RB. Like, I'm talking tap that thing fast as hell. You keep tapping it, and your guy's going to get a teeny bit of acceleration boost, and then you can either keep doing that, or once you get enough, once you get a boost enough, you can just sprint the rest of the way. So I'm going to try to break this down the best I can. Let's try to get to the outside here. We need to get like around the corner so we have a one-on-one, so I can get it for you guys. Let's see if I can juke it. Now you'll see here we're tapping it as fast as you can. He's going to get a little boost like that, and then you can just cruise your way to the end zone. So like I said, we're going to repeatedly spam RB, tap as fast as you can. They got a good shed there, but here we go. Now let's tap it. Perfect example. See, we didn't have a great angle, but when we got to the outside, we had that edge. Then we could spam that, get that extra acceleration boost. Go to the replay again real quick, just to show you guys once we got to that edge. We got out there. Zoom in a little bit. And now as as you can see, once we get out to the outside, we start spamming it now. Boom, 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 and he just blows right by him. And obviously, it is a linebacker versus Tariq Cohen, but the distance wasn't that bad. And then once we started spamming that RB, he got the huge boost that we needed. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video, man. Be on the lookout for more. I appreciate everyone, man. Peace.
All right. So everybody saw that, obviously. Yeah, man. I mean, it's not a whole lot to say, about it. I mean, it's definitely a glitch. He proved it. I mean, he definitely showed it. He broke it down. He zoomed in. He showed you exactly how it's performed and how it works. So let's not do that. Like I said, I mean, tackling, pursuit, speed and all that good stuff is already catered to the offense. So let's not add to it. Once the video comes out, I will make a formal announcement in the chat, to watch the video. Even you got to fast forward to the 55 minute mark to see that it's, just to see the video, to let you know exactly what is going on, with that particular glitch. But let's not do that. And anything else, I mean, if it's a glitch, let's just not do it. I mean, things are, like I said, it's a video game in some regards. Some guys are just straight football. However, doing things that aren't straight football related things because it's a glitch in the matrix and just to get an advantage, just to get a win, it speaks to your integrity, to be honest with you, if you do those things. On top of that, that's like I said, that's something, we are built this league on people being of a higher integrity and, playing straight up, play straight up, outthink your opponent, and out execute your opponent and win the game. That's what this league is built on. That's what we do here. And that's what we want to have going forward. Doing things that are, underground or below board just to gain an edge over your opponent because you don't feel like you can beat them on your own merit. That's a problem. So let's be good men. That's the best way I can say it. Let's just be good men. And let's do things the proper way, and we will be better off. Trust me, And I think I mean, for me, I sleep better at night knowing that I don't play that way, And you should too, For the to be honest, be straight up honest with you. I wouldn't, knowing if I did things like that and I won games, repeatedly, it wouldn't sit well with me. I wouldn't feel like I earned it, So. As long as you don't do those things, we're in much better shape, man. But yeah, that's it, man. I think the administrative wise, I mean, that's the only thing I really want to cover. The speed boost glitch is definitely banned. Your play calling, your time management, and make sure your rosters are and I will speak on that real quick. Like, read your rule book, fellas. Like, read it top to bottom. Don't skip over stuff because there are things in there that you may come up. There's situational things in the book that you may come up on, like CPU games and stuff like that, that there are rules in there regarding that, and you not knowing those rules is not an excuse. You were handed a rule book. You were given it, your own copy. It's not borrowed. It doesn't expire. So read it, understand it. If you have any questions, let us know. We'll try to clarify for you. But at this point, we're 6 seasons in. Most of you guys have been in for the duration. There's no excuse for your roster to be out of order. You shouldn't have, you should have the minimum player requirements, which is 46, and all your roster requirements position-wise should be handled. And handle it at week 1. Don't wait until you get suspended at week 8 to handle it. That's just not. I mean, come on, man. Like, just got here. That's week 1. That's week 1, season 1 stuff, man. Like, we should have to constantly remind you guys to do these things. It's going to come up. It's a rule. It's never going to change. So let's just do them and get it straight and won't have that type of problems. Everybody's life is easier when we don't got to go through it and nitpick at people, man. So keep your rosters in order. Follow the rules. Play your games. Coordinate your schedules. Be reasonable. And we all good. Appreciate everybody's time. Appreciate everybody listening. Appreciate everybody indulging me for this hour and 5 minutes, Bo. And yeah, man. So let's get back at it. We're gonna be in week 9 soon. We're in week 9. We'll be in week 10 soon. And let's keep rocking and rolling. Like I said, stay safe. Everybody be mindful of their family members and try to stay as healthy and as away from this pandemic as we possibly can, man. And we'll just pray that it ends soon. You know, I appreciate everybody's time. Follow us on Twitter, the MNFL. On Twitch, MNFL_network. Anybody that switches their games, the channel will auto host your game on our channel as it's like a all-in-one encompassing sports channel. So be mindful of that. So you just be sitting around all day at work or at home, lead the site up, and then whoever starts to switch their games, it automatically pop up for you because it'll auto host it. So there's the social media, the YouTube channel, MNFL Sports 1, where this video will be posted. Subscribe, like, comment on the videos. Tell me how you like it. And we'll try to continue to do more content as we can. And, like I said, I appreciate everybody's efforts and time. And we'll keep rocking. Hopefully we'll have some Madden 21 news here soon so we know exactly how we're going to move. Make sure you are aware. I will do a count. I think after this season's over, I will do a count of games won. We'll draw up a spreadsheet for that and let you know exactly where everybody stands for team selection next year. So you can kind of, try to work on your wins if you feel like you need to move up in the rankings to get the team that you want next year. So let's be mindful of that as well. And like I said, we'll keep pushing, In the meantime, in between time, man, I appreciate everybody listening and coming through. And I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.